Now, Pete Wicks is right here, soon, of course, to be taking part in this year's Strictly. Though, can you believe it's nearly 10 years since he first appeared in The Only Way is Essex? Well, this week, Pete is sharing a very honest look back, actually, in his new book, Never Enough, My Words Unfiltered. I like that. He joins me now. It's so good to see you.
How are you?
I'm very well, and it's lovely to see you. Look at you all gorgeous and broody on the front of your book.
I always look good in black and white. It's colour that's a problem.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Let's be honest. We should just all live in black and white. Never enough. What do you mean by never enough?
Never Enough was the first tattoo I ever got when I was 16, and it's kind of been a thing that's been throughout my life. I've never really felt like I was enough, and I think, you know, I'm 36 now, so it's 20 years since that tattoo, and the feeling's still there. And I think a lot of people probably feel the same way. And that
Do you know, I totally agree with you. I think a lot of people are going to read this and say, that's me. That's how I feel. Because we all feel a bit like that, don't we?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. You know, I didn't necessarily want to write a book, but I think now is the time in my life where there were things that I probably need to look at in my own life and what's made me the way I am now.
Sure.
And kind of the only reason for me doing it is that hopefully it's relatable for someone, especially men, because I think men really struggle with talking about things. And
they do, about feelings and how they are, and kind of like just generally thinking about stuff, big stuff.
But that's exactly it. Like, you know, the most beautiful thing about you, me, and everyone in the world is that you're completely unique, and you have your own thoughts and your own feelings, and sometimes that's really hard to kind of process. And there's some big topics in it, you know, suicide, mental health, grief.
Absolutely. Grief is a big one, isn't it? Because you do start the book talking about your grandmother, who was a huge part of your life, and you must miss her every single day.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, you know, it's your experience of losing somebody that you love very, very much.
Yeah, because it's really...
She looks great. I like her.
She was amazing. Yeah, she was amazing, Doreen. She was just an angel on earth. But she had a major impact on my life, and losing her is probably, you know, the toughest thing that I've ever been through. And I know everyone kind of loses grandparents, and that's kind of life. But you know, she was more than that. She was my best friend. So you know, it was tough. And I think a lot of people don't know how to cope with and how to get through grief. And there's no right or wrong answer to it. It's just understanding the process, but you can't really understand your own emotions and feelings until you take a bit of time out to reflect on what is really bothering you. And mine came out in different ways over the years, anger being one of them. And that's just because, not necessarily because I was angry, but it was because I couldn't process what I was feeling or understand how I was feeling. No,
I understand that completely. What's really interesting reading the book as well is how important your female friends are to you.
Massively, yeah. I surround myself with a very strong group of women, from my management to my friends, and I think that's important. Women are basically better than men, aren't they, really? Almost.
You know, I'm not going to argue with you.
Almost everything. So, but yeah, no, it's really important. I was kind of brought up by my mum and my nan, and kind of having strong women in my life, I think, is really important.
Yeah.
You know, women are so much better at talking about things. They're so much better at understanding their emotions, and you know, they go through the same things as men, but they just seem to handle it better. They've got a better grip on how to get through difficult situations.
Sure. And we talk to each other. Women talk to other women.
Yeah.
So that's good that you've got that. I think it's a wonderful thing to do, because a group of men, it's a totally different conversation that they would have, you know, either down the pub or in a club or wherever they are.
Yeah, the boys go to the pub and it's, "You all right? Yeah, good, you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how the conversation ends.
Oh, I know, because my husband comes back and I say, "So how is everybody? And what about this? And what about..." And he's like, "What?" I said, "What did you talk about?"
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's exactly the thing. We're told a lot with mental health to talk, and it does make a massive difference.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not just about talking, it's just about having someone to listen. You don't necessarily want a response from people, but it's having someone to listen. And I think a lot of the time, getting things off your chest, and that was kind of what the book was for me. It was quite cathartic to actually say things that I'd never said before.
No, it's really good, because a lot of people, you know, because you were in TOWIE, because you do all of these things, you know, there's an awful lot of young men that will look up to you and they'll listen to you, which is a great thing.
Yeah, I think people have probably got a very different opinion on me to who I actually am, and I think, you know, over the years...
this is an eye-opener. It's really good.
Over the years, I think with TOWIE and that, I kind of became a bit of a caricature of myself. And
you do. Reality shows turn people into cartoons, you know, and it's a horrible thing. But now look, how are you feeling about Strictly?
I am petrified.
Are you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
Are you telling me that you can't you can't dance tippy toes?
Do you know what? I'm like a Ferrari from the waist down and a Volvo from the waist up.
Okay.
So the hips are there, but
the
top half don't move.
Listen,
it's very weird.
That's part of the battle. That's part of the battle. If you've got the hips, you're nearly there.
I've got the hips, but nothing else, and I kind of feel like you need the whole body, Lorraine. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe. Now, look, your lovely Zara, has she given you some good advice? Has she just said enjoy? What's she said to you?
Zara has said to me, she was the one that kind of pushed me to do this because she loves the show. I mean, I've been quite honest about the fact I've never actually seen it.
Stop it.
I genuinely
You've never seen Strictly Come Dancing?
So the first time I saw Strictly was
outrageous.
I know, it was the first time, the first live show last year when Zara was on it. And I just thought, wow, this is amazing. But I never imagined myself doing it. Sequins and all that sort of stuff is not necessarily...
You're a man that likes black.
I'm a man that likes black, yeah.
Yeah, well, you won't be doing that.
No, I'm not allowed to do that. I mean, I had a photo shoot the other day and, wow, it was interesting.
Oh, was it?
Oh, it was interesting. You wait to see it. Oh, there was all sorts. There was all sorts going on. But I'm excited.
Of course.
It's a brand new challenge. It's something that I've never thought I'd do, and that's kind of, it's part of what I said in the book.
Absolutely.
It's all about new challenges.
It is. There'll be a lot of attention on this, as there always is, even more now, of course. But you're kind of used to that. You've grown up with the whole TOWIE thing. You've grown up with the social media thing, and you handle it very well, I must say.
Thank you.
You do.
Thank you so much.
You do, because it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. It's not easy. And sometimes, being in the public eye or whatever else has kind of a detrimental impact, because if people tell you the same thing all the time, and it's negative, it's very hard to not believe that after a while.
Yeah.
So
ignore them.
Exactly.
Ghastly people. Easy to say, difficult to do.
Exactly,
let's be honest.
Right.
Pete, this is great. Pete Wicks, Never Enough, My Words Unfiltered. I love when people do things unfiltered. So good to see you.
So good to see you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
You're the best-looking grandma on TV.
Oh, behave.
Unbelievable.
Shush.
Unbelievable.
Behave yourself. And good luck with Strictly. I can't wait to see what you're going to do.
Thank you.
I think you're going to surprise us all, I do.